Alrighty. Just like a bad rash, we're back. Can't get rid of us. Welcome back to the Merritt podcast.
Okay.
Good start, right?
Good start. Excellent start.
All right. So I am in the studio with one Mr. William Thompson. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing excellent. How about yourself, buddy?
Not too shabby. So I want to introduce you to Will. He's my new boss, so I have to kind of be on decent behavior today.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Will, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, okay. Well, a little bit about me. Let me think. Fun facts. One, I'm a dad. Two, I am a husband. Let me see what else. I'm obviously the training director here at Wayne Marsh. I come out of the great state of New York City. Went to school in Connecticut. Played a little football there. Ran my head into a couple of little walls, obviously.
Knock some sense into you?
Knock a little bit of sense
there
into
you
me.
go.
Let me think. What else is pertinent? What else is...
Favorite color?
Favorite color is black.
Okay,
I like to keep it simple, original color.
There you go.
Let me think. What else? Favorite team is the New York Giants.
All right. I'll pretend like I know about football and say, ooh, gross.
There you go.
Or yay, Giants.
Or yay, Redskins.
Sure. Yeah. I know about the Ravens and the Steelers. Does that get me my Baltimore on card?
Not really.
Bummer.
Not so much.
Bummer. All right, good deal. So, we like to split these podcasts into kind of like 50% personality, 50% informational. Before we jump into the information, I want to kind of dig into your history. I want to know a little bit about you.
Uh-oh.
I want some blackmail. So, have you always been in the fitness industry?
That's a good question. I grew up playing sports. Was a kid who frequented the YMCA in my spare time.
Okay.
So I guess in a sense, without the hand gestures. So I guess in a sense, yes. I study exercise science. Have a minor in kinesiology.
Fellow geek, I appreciate it.
A little bit. I try. My passion is actually just in things that are a little bit more artistic. So I do have a background in cosmetology. I competed for a little while as a platform artist for Veda. I play with some shears, some clippers,
cool.
color products and things of that nature. But to answer your question, I would like to think that I've always been somewhat in the fitness industry. It wasn't until maybe 2005, 2006 that I actually took the jump and decided to call myself a professional.
Very loosely. Keep it very loosely, yeah.
You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. It wasn't until maybe 2012 that I actually realized that I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
And so I just kind of slowed down a little bit and made it a little bit less about aesthetics, a little bit less about performance, a little bit less about moving heavy things. Not just for self, but more or less so I can kind of help people a little bit. Right. Realistically.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of a little bit.
And I like that. That's a little breadcrumb for what we'll be speaking on today. The way the industry has been moving, fortunately, is a lot less how you look and more how you move. Which, fortunately, if you move well, you tend to look a little better too. Hopefully. So I kind of want you to, let's see here. You said move some heavy weights. What are your PRs?
Man,
I know, right?
I want to say 585 in deadlift. Nothing super major.
Good.
2 reps. 2 clean reps.
There you
One
go.
horrible rep. During that last rep, I actually bruised my sacrum. And I kind of learned a little bit about.
For the ladies and gentlemen at home, the sacrum is?
It's an area that you can bruise. You can definitely bruise it. We don't want to get too complicated. Nah. It's kind of in that lower spinal region.
It's way down low there.
Yeah, it's kind of low. I bruised it. Didn't really feel too awesome. Felt like somebody kicked me in my butt. Kind of went through the whole IT band, syndrome. That's common most folks. Yep. Worked through it. At the time, I was, still playing sports, so I was able to get some attention from team doctors, which isn't necessarily for most,
most people don't have that option.
But it was an eye opener because it taught me that it's not so much about moving heavy things. It's about the quality of how you move certain things.
There you go.
You can kind of minimize the weight, and be able to do a lot longer as opposed to quick and fast.
Yes.
We don't like quick and fast.
No. Very, very cool. Now, who are you certified through?
The National Academy of Sports Medicine.
All right. It's not ACSM, but I'll let it slide.
It is not ACSM. We all due respect. We come from a different mindset.
There you
go. Dr. Michael Clark was more of a physical therapist. So it's kind of like the lineage, I guess, in a sense, from what the cert offers. Gives you a profound respect for Latin.
Yes.
You definitely have to understand some Latin terms and be able to not necessarily regurgitate them, but just apply them to what you're doing.
It's definitely different tools for different jobs. Absolutely. Very cool. Now let's jump into a little bit more specifically that functional stuff. Some of the stuff we'll be rolling out specifically at our White Marsh location very, very soon. We've got some in-house, but we're hoping to kind of push it a little further.
Sure.
Go and jump into it. Tell me what you got.
So the beginning is the functional movement screen. It's a system devised by Greg Cook and Lee Burton. I had the good fortune of being able to get certified with them through a workshop. For a couple of years, I had no clue what I was doing. It looked really, really cool. People were interested in it. I kind of had an idea of what was going on, but I really didn't uncover the true potential of actually being able to identify what you see with the functional movement screen. It takes 7 major movements, body positions that we all need to go through in life and be able to function in.
Yes.
And it just basically gives them a score. 1 to 3, really, really simple test. 1 being not so optimal, 3 being optimal, 2 kind of middle of the way.
Smack dab in the middle.
Right. So from that score, what we're able to do is to create a program or allow the program itself to be developed via what your body tells us from your right or left halves. Meaning the right side of your body scored independently and along with the left side of your body scored independently. There's a component where your body's prone, meaning that you're facing the floor, just to kind of see how your core kind of integrates when you go into a movement. Hence the whole let's move well.
Let's get everything going at the same time. You mentioned that it's split between the right side and the left-hand side of the body.
Correct.
I think that's something really big to shout home to folks is, you don't always recognize that there are some major, major discrepancies between the two halves of the body.
Absolutely.
A challenge I like to give some of my clients to kind of reiterate that stuff sometimes. Next time they have something they eat with a spoon, eat it with your non-dominant hand. You're sure it's going to eat it a lot more than you will. It's it gets a little tricky. That goes into coordination, but that also just goes into knowing those appropriate, muscle patterns. Movement patterns, and of course it kind of ties into if you don't move muscles a certain way, they're not able to move a certain way
at all.
You don't use it, you lose it.
Pretty much. Just sum it up.
So we have a couple other things rolling out. We've got our Stellar Program Fit in 50. Got to get that plug in.
Absolutely.
So what could you explain it to a couple of the folks at home?
Well, the Fit in 50 program is actually pretty cool. It's a way for us to kind of connect with members a little bit more in depth. Not necessarily just from the service aspect of, hey, we're the trainers, come on over, we can help you.
Yep.
But more or less kind of meeting people where they are, allowing the members to get into a program totally up to themselves. We bring them in. We have a pretty quick assessment.
10-15 minutes.
10-15 minutes tops. Nothing super complicated. It's basically a way for us to kind of determine, whether you start at level 1, level 2, or level 3. The level 3 exercises that will be emailed out to the members each week. A little bit more challenging, high paced, a lot of repetitions, a lot of metabolic stuff. Obviously some bilateral exercises that kind of challenge the right and left sides of your body. Level 2 is a little downgraded, not so many bigger movements. And level 1 is a little bit, if you would call it low impact, a little bit more functional for everybody to be able to do.
I would even say introductory.
Giving
some folks maybe showing them something they haven't seen before.
Absolutely. Just basically kind of challenging our membership base to take things to the next step allowing us to kind of be part of it, allowing them to be part of everything we're doing. And I think it's really, really great. It comes after the 50 weeks of the year.
Yep.
For most part. And it obviously may roll over into the next year, and that's kind of what we want. Stay connected to everybody.
There you go.
And it's actually pretty cool. We've had a great turnout for most part. The first week was all testing. By Sunday morning, everyone should have an email, which kind of tells them what their workout's going to be, and then we're just looking for good times and good workouts.
Yeah, the nice thing is for those struggling with accountability, it could kind of give you another option in the club, and for those struggling with diversity in their workout, again, another little option. We're just trying to emphasize that we want to take care of you.
Yep.
We want you to be happy and healthy.
Don't want to be stagnant.
No. Right. All right, let's jump out of that for half a second. Now, fitness industry, I think you said since 05, right? Was that 12, 13 years or so? Do you have any advice for someone wanting to get into the fitness industry?
Oh, man, that's a great question. Don't get into this trying to be rich. That's first. Do not put that as your utmost thing you're trying to accomplish. Be very, very humble and realize the more that you learn, the more that you don't know. It's more of a marathon than it is a sprint, and you can literally change people's lives. You can help so many countless amount of members, your community, church organizations, lodges, etc. It has helped me tremendously just in terms of structure with things outside of fitness, just mindset, and it kind of, puts together all the 5 doctors that you'll never need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rest, sleep, exercise, good nutrition, obviously, and to have a good mental state. It's all about having a balance for the most part.
And, it's talking about mental states. That's something that people don't, that tends to be a pretty hot topic nowadays, is just mental health
it's
in the United States. Yeah. And, not to be a complete replacement, but, the gym's a lot cheaper than therapy,
Some say.
Some say.
Some say.
It's one of those things that a lot of not only physical benefits, but also just mental and emotional benefits can come from exercise.
Absolutely.
You need that outlet. It's a very positive outlet to go towards. And some would argue that the human body was not meant to sit inside a cube all day.
At all. Or a car.
Or lie down in a bed.
Yep. Or couch.
In
front of Xbox. But we go on and on. You're absolutely right. It helps in terms of a few different systems that your body has in order for them to work correctly, and work together, as opposed to not having balance and one part works and one just says, keep working.
Yeah. Good stuff. So let's jump back to in the club again. If there's one workout, I know this is kind of like a cardinal sin saying pick one workout, but we're going to do it anyway. One workout that you could not emphasize enough that everybody should do in some fashion, what would that workout be?
From young to old, low impact to, high intensity, weekend warrior, I would say a fundamental exercise that everyone should do is probably the swing. And the reason is because it goes through a natural pattern of life. We all have to sit on the toilet. We all have to sit in a chair. We all have to sit in a car. We all have to sit, period. And so from the movement pattern itself, it kind of challenges every joint that you have. It's kind of like the overhead squat, except it's a center loaded position. And it takes you through some metabolic movements. It takes you through posterior movements. It kind of challenges your posterior chain. And then it really attacks your core.
Yeah.
That would probably be, if I had to pick one, I would.
If you had to pick absolutely one, stuck on a deserted island,
I can swing and
find a branch and just go for it, right?
Keep going for it.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and let's jump back to the personality stuff. I kind of like to bounce around a little bit. Favorite flavor ice cream?
Vanilla.
All right. I'm gonna flash my old man card here. I like butter pecan.
That's not a bad choice.
It's good. It's delicious.
Vanilla's the base.
Yeah, that's where it all comes from.
It all comes from that.
Favorite pizza topping?
I'm a New Yorker, so we don't We don't convolute things. It's just basic.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
So New Yorker, tell me what's that like? How does Baltimore, and I guess maybe many of the other places you've been, how does Baltimore compare to New York?
Baltimore is a total reflection of New York City. It's amazing.
Are you trying to say we're not original?
Oh no, they're definitely original. The colors are original. The smells, it definitely is East Coast city. You can't mistake that. The personalities, the people, the directness, with all of it very, very familiar. Mm-hmm. Just the love or the lack of concern is welcoming. I can identify with it. Like, I know exactly what that looks like.
Yep.
No, it's a wonderful place. In the time that I've been here, I've been living in this area since 2004. Mm-hmm. I live directly in between DC and Baltimore.
Okay.
So I kind of get a little bit of both. Northern Virginia is maybe 20 minutes away from me.
Okay.
So it's very, very, very interesting. Obviously, this area is heavily government influenced. Mm-hmm. It's a very, very intelligent area.
At least we try to be.
At least on the surface. Very, very loving area. A lot of families, a lot of communities here. Very diverse, very transient. No complaints other than traffic.
Now that you live in Maryland for 14 years.
6.
Six. Okay, you've been bouncing. Okay, gotcha. 6 years now. Can you tell me, did you grow up in, were you born in New York?
I was.
Okay. What does the New York state flag look like?
I don't know.
What does the Maryland state flag look like?
Everything. Yellow, it looks like everything.
It's kind of like, it's that cousin that your parents make you play with.
Right.
You just got some sort of charm with them. You can't help it, but
they're
a little annoying sometimes. And
that Maryland flag you can't mistake that.
No. And I think it's so ugly, it's beautiful.
There goes that originality you was talking about. It's original. That's definitely an original flag.
Since you've been here, have you learned to pick a crab yet?
I have not.
No. Oh, we're gonna have to fix that.
I have not.
Next PT outing, maybe a bushel of crabs.
Crab pickers. That's what I've been looking for.
I can only imagine. Usually, crab goes with beer. Do you drink, and do you have a drink of choice?
Not a social drinker.
No, okay.
A social drinker. I would say Guinness, probably. Maybe a Corona.
Guinness, really?
Heineken. I don't think I would venture too much from those.
Oh man, Will, we should go to the Guinness factory. I can wear my Guinness sweatshirt.
He got real
drink
animated
it out of my Guinness glass.
I seen Guinness coming out.
I can show you my Guinness tattoo.
Gotcha. We just getting all types going. We got tattoos of Guinnesses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would keep it simple. Not much of a draft beer man. Or IPAs or
none of that crazy stuff.
Nah,
Yeah.
I'm not.
If you've swung down to our Canton location or Ford Avenue location, there's plenty of bizarre beverages down there.
I kind of took a little gander at that.
It's
interesting.
It's good people watching.
No doubt.
Good people watching. Awesome. So I guess let's jump back into the club. One last thing. I want you to really just tell me why. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Why? Well, there's a few whys. Mm-hmm. Merritt is a very, very open, loving place. Mm. And I use that word in a sense of caring. So I've worked for a few high-end health clubs in upper management. This one I find has just basically held true to what their company beliefs are. Not necessarily just for the members, but for the staff as well. Mm. So they kind of take care of us just as much as they take care of the members, which in turn makes us want to take care of the members that much more. Yeah. So the important things, obviously, to keep our cardiovascular health intact, because without that, we can't really function and do anything
Not
else.
getting too far.
And so the why would be for me, more or less, to always be able, to always be functional, to always be useful. To teach my family. I have 4 children. I have a son who's 21, I have 3 girls who are all 12. I have a set of, I obviously have some twins.
That's going to be a lot of teenagers. A lot of teenage young ladies in one house all at once.
And they're actually wonderful. Are all honor roll students. My goal for them is just to be able to teach them tangible things that they can learn to take care of themselves and their families. So my why is just really more or less inclusion and education. I want everybody to be happy and be fit and have those working things and tools to be part of what they want to do every single day. So if you know what you're doing when you go to work, you're a lot more confident. You're not second guessing.
Right.
And we want everybody to feel the same way when they come into our club, in our house. You want to know what you're doing. You want to be effective at it, and then you can kind of just knock it out the park. So you're not apprehensive. You're not shy. You're not bashful. None of those things or fears are part of what's going on in your head.
I like it. It speaks a lot of your character. The first thing you said is if someone wants to get into the fitness industry, don't do it to get rich. And the reason you just told me why was pretty much you want everyone around you healthy and happy. It speaks a lot not only of your character, but a really, really important outlook to have. Possibly if someone wanted to get into the fitness industry, or even what to expect walking through our doors is you're not just a guest or a member. We want to welcome you into the family.
Sure.
We want to take good care of you. Excellent.
Dope.
Well, I got to say, you do not disappoint.
Dope.
I'm impressed. This was a solid podcast. If I do say so myself.
Excellent.
Very, very good.
I think it was excellent.
Excellent. So I want to just thank you once again, Will. This is usually the time where I've only interviewed millennials so far, but if you want to pump out that social media, do you have anything out there that people should look on
Instagram?
The IG handles, what the kids call it.
IG handles.
That's
you
what the
can
kids
check me
say.
out on Instagram at Will Powered. That's WILLPOWERED. Look at that. About to have a joke, can't spell, and I can't spell. On Facebook, it's just William Thompson. You can also find me on our Merritt Fitness Professionals page. I'm around. It's probably better to grab me in person and say hi to me. I'm a better person.
Yeah, you can't shake an Instagram photo's hand. No.
One more quick little tidbit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I kind of want to touch base because we really want to, because it's February's Heart Health Month. And we're pretty close to February.
We are.
We do want to emphasize keeping track of your metrics, just kind of knowing where you are in time and space, what your body's telling you. So we're actually trying to get all of our members involved in our My Zone. And basically, My Zone is likened to Garmin or Fitbit, Polaris, Polar. And basically what we have in club is we have a way for you can actually see your metrics and what you're doing outside of your phone or an app. So if you see one of us in the club, grab us. We'll feel more than happy to kind of show you our My Zone belts and kind of talk to you about the benefits of it, and hopefully have one on you.
Talk about what those colors mean up on the board,
Exactly.
and why they're all very important.
Absolutely.
Every single color of the rainbow. Good deal.
This is excellent, man.
Excellent. I like it. One more thing about Heart Health Month for our members. When you come in February for our Member Appreciation Week, we'll have all sorts of different things kind of catered around towards that heart health. We'll be doing blood pressure screenings from trained professionals who know how to take your blood pressure, and we can kind of talk about what those numbers look like and, different ways to kind of mix up a cardiovascular workout. There are 1,010,000 different ways to get that heart nice and healthy. Oh, we got one other thing. We do have cryotherapy coming. Now, I am somewhat familiar. I have not been I have not actually gone through a cryotherapy session. Are we getting one down here at White Marsh?
We are. So next month, from 8:30 to 11:30 on Saturday, I believe that is February the 10th.
Sounds about right.
The cryotherapy studio from out in Owings Mills will be here on location, and we'll have flyers and send out an email blast. And basically, cryotherapy is geared towards recovery. So it's an excellent idea. It's not for everybody. We will send out an asterisk and kind of give you a disclaimer on who shouldn't take cryotherapy and actually who should. So it's actually pretty cool. Be on the lookout for that.
Good. I'm turning 26 in a couple months, so I'm starting to need a little bit more recovery. I'm waking up. I'm feeling a little old, Will.
Is that a 2-6?
That's a 2-6.
Okay. Well, let's get a 3 in there, and then we'll
then we'll talk, right?
Relevant conversation.
All right. Well, thank you very, very much, Will. I really
you.
appreciate you coming into the studio, kind of dropping a little bit of knowledge, teaching a thing or two. And I guess the one thing I could say is keep on moving, bud.
Keep on moving.
Excellent. Good work.